Welcome to Independently Wealthy. I'm Dianmu. Let me introduce the new series, 3 Minutes Investing, where we cover topics in investing and financial literacy in 3 minutes. Right now is earnings season. Just this week, many companies announced their earnings for the last quarter. More often than not, we hear the phrase record earning in terms of earnings per share. Let's talk about earnings per share and why there is a good metric to evaluate the health of a company. Consider this toy example. There are two stands in farmers market, one selling homemade cookies, the other selling popcorn. Now we know the profit they made this Saturday morning. The cookie stand made $50 and the popcorn made $30. Which one is the better business? Because 50 is greater than 30, it seems that the cookie stand is better. This is essentially what earnings per share or EPS is telling you. Here comes the second piece of information. In order to make these profits, both stands have to put down a good chunk of money to buy ingredients. For the sake of familiarizing you with the vocabulary in financial statements, let's call the cost of ingredients invested capital or equity. It refers to the amount of money and assets is used to generate profit. The cookie stand paid $200 for butters, jams, and flour. In other words, cookie stand has the equity or invested capital of $200 to make the $50 profit. The kettle corn stand only paid $50 for the bags of corn kernels and some salt and sugar. The popcorn stand has an equity of $50 to make $30 profit. Now, which one is the better business? Ideally, we want a business that takes little capital and generates a lot of profit. We can find out about this ratio by doing a simple division. For the cookie stand, we divide the $50 profit by the equity of $200 and get 25%. For the popcorn stand, we do the same and get 60%, which means if both stands starts off with $100 equity, the cookie stand would make $25 in profit and popcorn stand will make $60. Now the popcorn stand looks a lot more attractive under this new metric. This percentage is called return on invested capital or return on equity. It is a much better evaluation on whether the management is doing a good job on allocating the company's capital. Every year, a company will accumulate more equity. With more equity, it's only natural to have an increased profit, even if management did nothing to improve the business, which explains all the record earning we're seeing in the news. Say if a company starts with a 10% increase in equity, but only gets a 5% increase in earnings per share, then that's not saying much for the management. This is why return on capital or return on equity is a more appropriate metric instead of earning per share.